Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with this super cute layout of Kalen, and this is of Kalen's first lost tooth. So he lost his first tooth on June 1st, 2016 when he was 5 years old. And looking at these pictures makes him look like such a baby. And I look at him now because he's sitting here on the couch near me, and my baby's growing up so fast. And it's quite scary actually. But I have all of his photos of when he lost his teeth, and I have all these little lost tooth reports. And by the way, that stamp set is actually from Big Picture Classes, a Tooth Fairy stamp set, and then those little acrylics that you see right there, which is the Tooth Fairy, her wand, and the little tooth are also from Big Picture Classes, and it's just the Tooth Fairy acrylics. And if I can find them, if they still sell them, I will link them in the description box below. I actually purchased these back in 2016, right when he started losing teeth. I had posted it on one of the Facebook groups and asked if anybody had any really cute stamp sets, and somebody linked to these, and I absolutely love them. So that's what I'm using. And every time he loses the tooth, I've been stamping these out and just documenting the day and a little bit of information about it. That way I know, and when I go back and scrapbook it, I'll have no problem getting the information. So I'm actually using this Gossamer Blue kit from July of 2017. I've made a few layouts here with it, and I pulled it out actually because I was going through my stash when I was kind of reorganizing a few things after I moved, and I came across it, and I had never used this kit, but it's so lovely. I absolutely love all of the embellishments in this kit, as well as just the color combination. And so I've really kind of been obsessed with it actually, and I've been keeping it near my desk. So when I have some time and I don't have a kit that I'm working with, I've kind of been pulling it out to use it. So you've seen a few layouts in the past, and I'll make sure to, if you want to go back and look at those, just kind of go back in the history. I always have a description, playlist, and I always try to put the name of the kit that I'm using in the title, so just kind of go back and look for that. But there was one just a couple weeks ago, if you go back, and it was called High Five, I believe, so just go back and look for that if you want to see me work with that kit a little bit more. I'm pulling out the alphas that's in the kit, and they're a really large alpha, and I thought it would be really nice to kind of use the ledger print on the background paper here just to kind of help line up my alpha and just kind of play off of that ledger print. So my title is very, very original. It's called First Tooth Lost. And I will say, these alphas are not the stickiest, and I probably should reinforce them with a little bit of glue, but as you can see, I'm trying to make sure they're really stuck down, but I'm going to look at those again before I actually put them in my scrapbook album. I have the layout sitting right here next to me. Before I put them in the album, I'm going to probably try to adhere those down. I have a few little corners that are coming up, but actually they're pretty stuck down. I can't remember if I reinforced those while I had the layout, when I was doing the layout or not, but if I did not reinforce those, I will go ahead and just reinforce a few of them before I put it in my album. So I cut, I had a scrap of that little like starburst print, and it's got not gray, it's got like a bluish gray like little circle starburst in a sense, and it's a very like subtle print, but I really like it. And then I am using some red line tape because this cardstock, I believe it's like basil cardstock, but for whatever reason it just feels old, and I know that's kind of weird sounding, but you know when paper gets old it feels a little bit dustier and a little bit like almost like it's disintegrating. That's how that paper feels to me. And it's just that blue solid cardstock. It's really weird. I don't know if maybe a little bit of dampness got to the paper. None of the other papers are that way, but just that one. It's really strange to me. So I'm going to probably be using it for mats, but I probably won't use it for much else. I just don't like the way the paper feels. It's really strange to me, but it's just that blue paper. So this is really kind of the basis for my layout. Now I'm really just kind of embellishing and journaling. This one's fairly simple, but I think it makes a big impact with the really big title, as well as kind of the lost tooth report at the top, as well as the acrylics. I thought the acrylics were super cute, but I wanted to use them all together because they're kind of a set. There's the little tooth that's going to go down by the title, and I just used some glue dots for that, and then I have my little tooth fairy up there at the top. I'm putting down my lost tooth report. Now there was this blue rubber piece that came in the kit, and it just said remember this, and since I'm going off the blues and the whites pretty much, I of course had to include this. So and it fits really well right there under the lost tooth report, and it kind of even gives the lost tooth report a little bit of a grounding spot. There's also in this kit, and I do like the back side of this paper, it's kind of a lovely floral and white doodly paper, but you're not going to see that anymore because I use the front of this. I really like the ledger paper. I'm a sucker for some ledger paper, so if you ever find a really good ledger paper that you really like, please let me know because I'll probably go buy it. I really, really enjoy it. Now there's a couple chipboard pieces that I'm kind of looking through, but I'm only going to pull off one, and this one just says, oh happy day, and it's got it in 2 spots, and I thought I'd just layer it over the corner, and then use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to go ahead and staple through that once more. Since it went through the chipboard as well as the paper, it didn't really like fold down the backs of the staples, so I just used my scissors to kind of push that down a little bit more. There are also these word strips that came in the kit, and I'm going to use 3 of those, and then I'm going to use a few of the little asterisks off of the alpha sheet to kind of bring a little bit more of that blue into a few different places on the layout, kind of using them like enamel dots, but not. Oh, and I do go ahead and actually reinforce each of the alphas here, so there must just be one that I missed because I'm going to have to go back and re-adhere that one. It's the top of one of the O's. Feels a little like it's going to fall off, so I'm just going to go ahead and reinforce that. I'm going to get this done for you, and since I am actually using a ledger paper, I am going to write directly on the background paper. I don't typically do my journaling directly on the back, but I am actually going to do that in this layout. And I'll actually read you the journaling while we're watching it here. And it says, today Kalen lost his very first tooth, and let me tell you, he was so excited. It has been loose for weeks, but today he asked me to pull it out. On the first pull, it just popped out, and it was really kind of funny because he'd been messing with it and messing with it and messing with it. And if you have a kid with a lost tooth, you know, they sit there and wiggle it with their tongue until it falls out. And that's exactly how he was. He was really nervous about having somebody pull it out, but he just, I think, got tired of it wiggling in his mouth and just asked me to go ahead and pull it out. And he's actually sitting right here next to me watching me do this voiceover. And at the current moment, he also has a loose tooth. So we'll probably have another loose tooth or another lost tooth layout to do here shortly. I think he's actually lost 7. He lost 7, right? Yes, so right now he's got his eighth tooth loose. So it's kind of funny to sit here and look at this first tooth lost layout. I have a few of these word strips, as I mentioned. I've got completely awesome up here under the remember this. I've got this happened over here by the circle chipboard piece, and then I've got here are the details right on the top of my actual journaling. I am going to pull out this stamp set one more time and do a little bit more stamping just in 2 more places because I already have the stamping at the top with the lost tooth report. But I'm actually going to pull out one of the stamps says totally enjoying, which I'm going to do down here at the bottom of my journaling using some Memento Tuxedo Black. And then I'm going to do makes me smile over there by that little asterisk under the chipboard piece. And then that's actually going to finish out this layout. Just a few little details, but I really like the way that this layout turned out. I love the colors, I love the brightness of the white, and I love the simplicity of it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know if you have any questions whatsoever, and then also take a look in the description box below. I will link as many of the products as possible that are still available. All right, guys, bye.